Okay, gonna be doing some more tillage today. 1486 pieced together Frankenstein disc. Was originally an International 490. It's the one from when I gave a shout out to Thomas Farms. He's still on YouTube, so check him out. All hooked up, everything looks good. Gonna have to connect the batteries because we got a drain in this somewhere. Full on oil. Actually a tiny bit past the full. And if anybody says it needs an oil change, it's a diesel. Its oil just turns black 4 seconds after you pour it in there. And if anybody says it needs a bath, it doesn't. But you gotta go to both sides and connect the batteries. Two hands make this easier. There we go. Now let's hope it starts, because those are two brand new batteries. It's actually not too hot out today. The sun's not really out. A little bit of clouds. Nope, I guess that's cool. Let me wiggle the batteries and I'll bring you back. Okay, so wiggled the battery connections. Now let's try it. Yep. So, I'll bring you back when we get out to the field. Would you look at that? Didn't even grind going into gear. If someone wants to get that gate for me, that would be awful nice of them. No? Alright, I'll get it. Every gate on the farm, you can just barely fit equipment through. And I have to reshut them because we're going to be disking the bean stubble, and if the corn stalks dry out before the end of the day, we'll be disking them too. Gonna be moving cattle from the corn stalks and bean stubble back to our summer pasture at our house this weekend. Cows and calves. Nah, you don't need to lock it. I'll be coming back out of there in a couple hours. And the chain is all wrapped up, and I only have one hand. Ooh, 2 times and 3 times in one day. Hitting right gears. Well, you'll be glad to know the AC doesn't work. And the lane is bumpy. Well, I guess we cracked some windows. And the sun just came out. So you remember when I said it wasn't too hot? It's getting hot in here now. So I'll bring you back in a few. On a good note, the tires look like they're holding air. So we're gonna try in first gear high range and see how that goes. And we're farming. So I told you the cows were out here. They're hanging out right along where I'm disking. They're in the hayfield right now. Getting quite a bit done. Probably got 20 acres done. This is only about a 25 acre field. Then I'm gonna move maybe into corn stalks, I don't know yet. There's more cows, some calves laying up there. Should be about 23 cows and a dozen calves laying out in that field, if some others aren't spread out. Just been sitting here, going good. Tractor's running good. Don't really like the oil pressure, but it's been like that for a while, a little bit low. Needs a rebuild, haven't got around to it yet. It's acceptable. Not good, but acceptable. After I get done with this field and move fields, I think I'm going to stop by the barn with the air compressor and blow out the air filter. Just seems like I'm lacking a little bit of power, and every once in a while the air light, not getting good airflow, pops on. But I don't finish this last couple acres. But other than that, it's going good. Got my earbud there. I've just got my other one in. I pulled it out so that way I could talk to you guys without screaming too loud. I got to talk loud because the tractor's going, but if I got the earbuds in, I yell real loud. But Just been listening to some Growing Corn 2020, or I guess it's Straightforward Farming podcast. Now I'm on a farm for profit, waiting on Millennial Farmer to throw out a Between the Rows podcast or whatever it is. Anybody got recommendations on a good podcast? Drop them down in the comments. I listen to like the Meat Eater podcast and some of theirs too. Got a few others, but that's what I do when I'm sitting in the tractor without a radio or AC. Just throw my earbuds in, listen to podcasts. It's pulling a little bit hard in this ground. The cows have stomped on it all winter. But the 14 gets the job done. It's a pretty big disc too. I don't remember if it's 21 or a 23 or 4 foot. But pretty wide disc, and I'm going a little deeper because I don't plan on chisel plowing out here. We're just gonna field cultivate it here in a week or two, and then spray and plant. But coming up on the end here, so I'm gonna get back to listening to my podcast and turn around without a phone in my hand. So talk to you in a few. Well, I've been out in the field for a while and I forgot my water, so thirsty. Take a spare. Oh yeah, here's some asparagus. There's some more asparagus. A little more asparagus. That's the asparagus cooler. Didn't really need it. Oh, Grandpa with the Nap Farm sticker. 2 of them. Didn't really need it, but I'm gonna fuel it up while I'm up here, and I'm gonna blow out the air filter like I said. Then I think we're gonna go back into bean stubble, because I went into the corn ground right next to it just to hit it a little bit, and I was not happy with the job it was doing. Corn stalks are a little wet. We got a little bit of rain last night. So more bean stubble. We'll be back out there. Like I say, didn't really need fuel, but I was up here and I didn't want to run out, and we have one of the handles that was made before I was born, so I got to sit here and hold it. Luckily it was over half a tank, so shouldn't take too long. Well, in IH's infinite wisdom, they covered up the air filter with the hood, but luckily we don't have to worry about that because we don't run hoods. Yeah, there's some dirt in there. I'm gonna have to pull out that center. Looks like a bird might have made a nest in there, or we just sucked up that much stuff. But we're gonna have to get that out. I don't know if you guys can see. That would explain the airflow. Probably run a lot better after this. Now maybe I can get my hand in there. Yeah, that can't be good. Of course that metal in there doesn't come out. I have to take that whole pipe off. I'd rather not though, because that doesn't look fun. Alright, I'm going to clean a little more and I'll bring you back. Well, you see me cleaning out the air filter. There was a bird's nest in that tube there. I assume it was a bird. Some sort of critter built a nest. It was pretty clean for it to be a mouse, so I think it was a bird. Got that filter cleaned out and that nest out, and hopefully that'll make it run better now. give it a little more power. But I think I'm done for the day anyways. That was a bump right there. I think I'm gonna park this for the night, unhook the batteries, because it'll drain them. And then maybe I'll get back at it in the morning. Corn stalks might be dry by then too. So, I don't know, half the bean ground, or what's going into corn over here, is worked up. So, set that down for the night. Give you a nice puff of black smoke. And then shut everything down. Got the 560 tore apart. Hopefully I'll get you some video putting it back together. You gotta clean up that surface. But it blew a head gasket, so we pulled it apart last weekend. I was in a hurry getting it apart, so I didn't get you any video of that. But ran it down to the machine shop, got it resurfaced, new valves, new valve springs, the retainers and all that. Looks good. Want to thank Neil and Will down at Nuco Performance Engines. They're down in Kentland, Indiana, Newton County. They did a great job cleaning this up and getting it ready to go back in, and they did it fast. Pulled it apart last weekend, took it down on Monday, and they had it back together and ready to go by Thursday with new valves and everything. So hopefully I'll be having a video of that. Can't really film outside today, so I came in the barn. It's 30-mile-an-hour wind, so you wouldn't be able to hear anything I'm saying, but that'll be a video. So as always, have a good one.